So ladies and gentlemen, the goal of the revitalization is to have socially inclusive community. We all know that Regent Park is going through a revitalization process. And one of the goals is to have a socially inclusive community or neighborhood. However, to achieve that goal, safety and feeling safe is a major ingredient for a socially diverse community. 2 weeks ago, the community was gathered in this room to talk of safety in relation to gun violence. Today, we are continuing our dialogue, which we started 2 months ago, as a neighbor-to-neighbor conversation about Islamophobia.
We all came here with different reasons to this, or immigrated to this country for different reasons. But God the Almighty has given us one reason, that He has said, "O mankind, I have created you from male and female, and I have made you nations and tribes for one main reason. One main reason is to know one another, to know each other, to get to know the brother, the sister, and all the brothers and the sisters in my neighborhood, in my workplace, and to make sure that I live with them with harmony and sincerity and inclusion and tranquility, to make sure that this country is always in a better place, as it is known to all the world that this is #1 country to live in, and preferably for all the people who would love to immigrate or to come, it is to come to Canada, as it is known, as we all agree on that. So our main basic target is to make sure that we will continue to have this country heard outside and everywhere, that this is a country of peace and love and tranquility, and people are jealous, not being Canadians or people who live in Canada. And God the Almighty, He said that, after He said to know each other, He said that those who are the most devoted one and the best ones among yourselves is not by color or language or body buildings or whatever background is, it is by piety and righteousness. How good you are with your Lord, how good you are with your people, with your relationship with the people beside you, that's how you are evaluated in the end, and that's how we are being judged. That is, Islamophobia is not, Islamophobia is made up, is not the organic result of bad Muslims doing bad things. It is not the cause. It is not because some people did wrong from the Muslim people, and then that's why the Islamophobia has come to service. It is a tool of public manipulation to manufacture consent for this disastrous wars and for votes.
We have the same protection as Muslims as we do for our background, as we do for our gender, our sexuality, our age. Everyone has the same protection. I know there's a very qualified person after me who's going to speak about that, and the Human Rights Code as well. So what I'll focus on is how you can report it to the police and what resources and support you have available. You don't have to just call 911. Obviously, someone's coming at you, you are threatened for your safety, call 911, and you will get a uniformed officer there with you. But something happened, and you're not quite sure, you're already home, you can always call the non-emergency number. Everyone's got Google on their phone. You can just Google Toronto Police non-emergency number, and it will show up. It's 416-808-2222. And a police officer will come to your house to take the report. You can report it online. We don't encourage violent crimes to be reported online, because a person will have to come see you, take a statement from you. That's just how the courts would like to see you presented. The process after that is, when a police officer takes your report, it gets submitted to the detective office. Say you were at home, the police came over, they took a statement from you. What's next? What's next is a lot of work for us, so you don't have to worry about that. We figure out if it's hate crime, we figure out if it's hate motivated based on the statements and the evidence you give us. Unless you report it, we can't really enforce on it. Someone ripped your hijab off and you put it on CP24 or Twitter, you will get the social justice for about 24 hours. And then it's gone. What I want to do, and what the Toronto Police wants to do, is support you through a system where no one does that again, where that person does not re-offend. And one way to do that is to get them charged, is to bring this forward, to be brave. And this happened in Regent Park, where a person was going around handing out very hateful flyers. He was charged for hate speech. He was convicted because someone was brave enough to come from the community as a witness that they saw that person hand that banner out. Without that, we couldn't have done it. If you know something that you want to report confidentially, just to tell me, but not go to court, you can do that. I will come out with my partner, and we will talk to you at a safe place and make sure that your name is never released. So you have a lot of options out there, and I want the community to just keep those in mind.
I started working in Regent Park as a youth worker, and we exchanged a couple of dates, and it turned out that I started working here with young people 2 years before he was born. So it's been great for all those years to continue to come here and work with people to make our city a safer, healthier place for all of us. And dealing with Islamophobia is something that should concern all of us, because if any group is vulnerable or experiencing hate and violence, then we all possibly could be subject to hate and violence. We all need to figure out ways that we can step up when people are making racist comments, when they're telling racist so-called jokes, when they're being aggressive. We need to step in and give a clear message that the behavior is not acceptable. It's not acceptable to any of us, and we'll all play a role in stopping it. And we can think about all kinds of crime that occurs even though there are laws against them, and there have been laws for many years. So a real issue is attitudes. It's about having important conversation, and it's about education. We often hear people talking about the importance of freedom of speech. And freedom of speech is a very important value. I think almost every day I read in the newspaper about somebody who's been put in jail somewhere in the world because they dared to stand up and be critical of the government, perhaps, of the police, perhaps, of powerful people. They've expressed a view that was negative, and they've gone to jail, or worse, ended up dead because of what they said, words. So that's a protected right, the ability to speak out and to give one's opinion. And when we talk about hate speech, we're talking about a limit on the freedom to speak one's mind publicly. Somebody said earlier, perhaps it was you, Iman, about patience. And I agree with the comment that was made that we shouldn't be patient in the sense of accepting things and doing nothing about it. But sometimes we want everything in place before we start.
So my question again is, education resources, where can people find it so they can share it and pass it on? What do you recommend when it comes to holding our governments and decision makers accountable for the damages that they've made, well, somewhere in government, and now others are, are now in charge?
In terms of how do we get our elected representatives to take certain issues seriously and to understand that we're going to hold them accountable to that, we can do that by using our voices. You know, things like letters to the editor, letters to politicians. You can send letters to federal members of parliament without having to put stamps on them. You can just put their name on and send it. And it's interesting, in political offices, they don't get all that much mail. And if they get 10 or 20 or 40 or 50 letters on a particular issue, they say, wow, these 50 bothered to do it. If 50 feel this.
We must be always in the front line, cooperating, helping, and supporting like Islamic Relief and Muslim Welfare and many masjids, many mosques. They are working hard with the community in general to let them know what the real Islam is all about. Do not let people hear what Islam is all about from the media. Because Fox News is not going to tell Islam what Islam is all about. It is completely different. So it is our task, you as a person, responsible, you're a shepherd, you are a representative of your religion on this particular part of the world, and you have to be a good person who's really taking the opportunity to introduce Islam in the best way, in the best extent. So that's why all mosques, as encouraged, as we try to do, open doors and invite our friends and our neighbors to come and to become, instead of hearing about us, just come see us, eat with us, and enjoy the life with us in whatever neighborhood we live in.